Oh my God. That's a really good question, Alexander. I was told by a lot of people, including my manager at the time, and I had a label at the time, the A&R was gay, and several different people that I knew in the industry always told me, do not come out, it will tank your career. And it
Yeah.
was really ironic because they themselves were gay. And so I
Mm.
never really understood that concept, and it really baffled me for years. They told me,
I've
hold
heard that
on,
so
don't,
many times.
so many times, and it's so disappointing. And I'm glad that we're at a point right now in our history and that things are starting to change, and they've been changing for a while. We have so much longer to go, but anyway, I struggle with that so much because I was like, why are you telling me, like, you're gay? Why are you not telling me to be myself? It didn't
Yep.
make any sense.
Yep.
And I think really where it became sort of, can I cuss on this show?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. You can do whatever you want, David Hernandez.
Okay. I think really where it became a fuck it moment for me was when I recorded Beautiful, because I was the most depressed I had been in my life, and the song was presented to me, and I didn't write it, and I write all my music, and I was like, oh God, like I don't want to sing a song I didn't write, which whatever. And then I got in the studio, and it was like therapy for me. And then I came up with the treatment for the video, which it was funny because I cringed initially at the treatment because I was like, God, I want to be all inclusive of everyone, but if I'm inclusive, that means I have to include myself and my sexuality, either indirectly or directly. And so, I wasn't dating anyone at the time, but so I put a gay couple in it. And I remember thinking, holy shit, like this is, I mean, everyone's going to definitely know I'm gay at this point, right? Like everyone already kind of knew, but it was like, and I had a moment of anxiety because of what I had been conditioned to believe, right? Up until this point. But then once I did it and the response that I got, I was like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to always be 100% myself, because when I'm not, I realize I've done nothing of greatness. But when I am 100% authentic to who I am, I've always, I've always just had a great time, like just living and creating. And the responses and the support from my community, and even communities that are not a part of mine, have been amazing. So, but yeah, to get to that point it definitely took, like 10 years, 10
Why were you
years. So
depressed back then, though, David?
what was that? What was that?
Why were you depressed back then?
I think because I wasn't able to be myself, and I had went through like a series of like relationships to sort of like validate me and kind of make me feel whole, when really the real issue was I just needed to work on myself. And so, and also just coming from that high of American Idol and never really quite getting back up to that high, it weighs on you mentally, because you're like, well, when am I going to have
Yep.
my next big break? And then I realized, well, everybody's break or everyone's level of success is so relative to who they are. Like, I'm sure Jennifer Lopez, like Jay was just talking about earlier, thinks that she has so much more to do, and
Right.
so you take someone like myself or like Jay or like anybody else who is still striving for those A-list moments again, and you have to just really stop and think like, wow, what I'm doing is actually incredible, or else life will literally pass you by, and then you look back at photos or moments of videos and you're like, oh, I was killing it then, but I didn't like it, I didn't love
Mhm.
it. And so just stopping and like, not to sound like trite, but smelling the roses is like,
Yep.
it's so important to do, because your success is not defined by other people's, it's defined by your own. And I think that that's where I'm at now. And it's, people can say all day, like someone commented today, I posted a clip of my Sorry music video. Not, it's not Sorry music video, but it's called Sorry.
Right.
I know. That's when I introduced him. I'm like, we're gonna look at his
know.
music video. Sorry.
I know. I was like, wait, that sounded weird. The music video, sorry, I posted a clip of it, and at one guy, he commented, wow, that's just too much falsetto. And it's just
Oh.
funny now. I look at those comments and I'm like, okay. And I even said, I wrote back, I said, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm not sure why you still follow me. Like,
Ooh.
if you don't like what I do, you can always remove yourself,
And it's like,
So
where are you performing? Yeah, okay.
I
And
mean,
you actually, I mean,
I
and
mean, where's
you
the line?
started, you started singing at age 6. You got cast at Valley Youth Theater, um,
Yeah.
Youth Theater too, and I hated it. But what
Oh
were
my
some of the
God.
biggest? Oh God. What were some of the biggest lessons you learned at such a young age doing youth theater that you still keep with you to this day?
That makeup is okay for boys,
Oh.
Okay.
first and foremost, because I remember, my dad's gonna hate this, but I remember, it was years and years ago, but like it was the first time my dad had seen me in a musical theater performance kind of atmosphere, and I was wearing makeup. And after the show, it was like, good job, son. But is that makeup you're wearing? And I come from a Latino Catholic family, so it's like
Yep.
to see you, yeah, you guys can probably relate. Like to see you on stage like that, like, you know, and I don't blame my dad for it at all, or anybody in my family, because you're conditioned again to believe that like this is what masculinity is. And
Sure.
I learned that you can wear makeup, and that's totally fine. It's actually advantageous to wear makeup in any setting, because not all of our angles are great.
Girl.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I set this up perfectly. I got lighting over here. But another thing, what was the other? It was what did I learn in musical theater?
Yeah, that you still like to this day, you know.
Oh, I've an immense respect for any performers that are of the musical theater community. I idolize so many musical theater people, because I think that they can do with their vocals that like R&B singers, if you will, or riffers and stuff like that can't necessarily do. Like, this stamina is crazy. And I've also come to respect like the music scores. Like, you have to kind of stay true to like what is written. You can't just be like all over the place, and you know, unless you're Shoshana Bean, then you can do whatever you want to do. But she's incredible.
Shoshana Bean walks in, like Stephen Sondheim is like, okay, go ahead, start singing, and then I'll write.
Exactly. I hate that. No, but I love her to death. She's a good friend. But yeah, so those are two things that I've learned. You can wear makeup, and also musical theater performers are some of the most hardworking people in the industry that I've ever.
Eight shows a week. You got to be the same every single time. And so I want to talk to you about your voice. Your voice is always on point, and I have seen you perform on many different stages. From small stages to large stages, and many forms of intoxication. And I mean forms of intoxication.
I probably was too with you. I love an occasional cocktail.
Okay, yeah, but so I've seen you a little sauced up, and then you hit the stage, and all of a sudden it's like you get into it. Yeah. Do you do vocal lessons per week? What's your warm-up process like?
I haven't done vocal lessons in a very long time. My vocal lessons consist of several hours of YouTube live, watching people do what I wish I could do, and then I replicate those riffs, and then I end up eventually years later doing it. So that's my training. But before stage, I do love, because I have anxiety, like, and it's, you know, people don't really understand this, but I'm kind of an introvert in terms of like, once I get off stage, I kind of want to come home and just like have a bottle of wine and just watch TV and not be bothered. But so when I get to the venue and there's all these like, oh my God, David. And then afterwards there's all this again, right? Like, well, can we get a photo and all that, and which I love, but like at the same time, like my anxiety is like, oh my God. So bourbon or like wine during the event and during the show really just kind of help me chill out, and my banter is more relaxed, and like you get a vibe for who David is. So, but I have been sauced up around you before, and then when the mic turns on and the camera turns on, I'm like, you know, I think it's adrenaline and the fear of looking like a fool. But yeah. Well, speaking of which, the last time I was on your show, we got really messed up. We had a few too many martinis.
No such thing.
The alcohol doesn't mess up with your singing, because I have friends, and I think, you know, smoking is different from drinking, but like for me, you know, I like to drink water before I host or whatnot. Yeah. Sometimes alcohol will dry up the lungs a bit. And then I have friends who are like, oh my gosh, smoking weed has screwed up like my singing career. So I mean, that's not the case for you then.
No, I had friends that couldn't eat like potato chips or like certain foods. I've always had like these steel cords where I didn't have like I never had those things. Water,
you're
obviously.
Lucky.
I'm super lucky in that aspect, but I think sleep has always been a huge thing for me. As long as I get an apt amount of sleep, like I'll be okay, and drink water. Obviously, there is a point where, you know, you can't. I don't get like hammered before a show. Like I'll have a couple of cocktails and then one during the show, and then afterwards we can all celebrate. But yeah, I've never been the kind of person where like I can't eat like, you know, salty potato chips, or, you know, don't drink. As a matter of fact, when I drink tea, it kind of dries me out more than anything, to be honest. I don't know what it is about it, because I think maybe the caffeine in the tea.
Because it agitates your vocal cords.
What I've always thought though about my vocal coach is like, you can rehearse all you want in your life, but when it comes time to hit the stage, just let all of that shit go and let God do his work, and trust that you're going to do what you came to do. And that's just been my sort of like mantra for, you know, the last like, I don't know, 14 years of my career.
Yeah. Are you David, a really, really good guy?
What's that?
So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Alex, but are you a really religious guy? Because you mentioned like a Catholic background. You mentioned God now, and I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, do you go to church on Sundays and whatnot?
I don't go. I wish I went to church more. That's kind of one of the things that me and the boyfriend want to start doing more. We went to church together a couple times a couple years ago, but that's something I want to do. I grew up definitely in a Catholic household, and my other side of my Mexican family is Jehovah's Witness. So
oh my God.
But I didn't really follow that. I never got my first Holy Communion. My mother is Christian, so my dad, my mom are divorced, so they were always kind of like on the fence about how I'd be baptized, so I never was. But I'm more of a spiritual person. I definitely believe in a higher power. I don't think that we're here in a coincidence or of any sort. Like, and I often like find myself like, you know, questioning like, you know, how like does positivity affect the way my life goes and like the right frame of thinking and like going to church. And even if you don't believe in like Jesus Christ and the 12 apostles, but like you can go into that space where it's such a humbling space and just almost meditate. So I'm more spiritual than religious for sure, but I do believe in God, and I believe that I'm, you know, that I'm a small piece of what's happening in our universe.
Cool. I want to talk about your cover of True Colors, which you released just recently for Pride season. That song has so many different meanings. And in today's social political climate, it's like, oh yeah, to think that Cyndi Lauper came out with it so many years ago, and it's a song that is so prevalent or so meaningful today. I want to know what are some of your true colors that you've kind of rediscovered during quarantine, during the protests, during everything? What's a part of you that you've rediscovered?
Oh God, the good and bad.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the good and the bad.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I've realized that I'm really bitchy when I'm
you
confined.
Just realized that? I could have told you that months ago.
Oh, shut up, Alexander. It takes one to know one.
True story.
I think that I'm not for super confined spaces. I need to change the scenery on a daily basis. I've also learned that being more real on social media gets you more respect. I think that like this whole period, like you don't have like, it's put us all on like this even playing field to where like people want to see that you're human, and they don't want to necessarily see all like the glamorized like photo shoots that you've done, and like they just want to see that you're raw and that you can and because I want to relate to people like that too, which I, you know, when I follow certain celebrities and people that I idolize, like they're like, they don't have any makeup on, like minimal lighting, and they're just like, hey, like we're right here going through this shit with you. So, and that makes me in turn like want to be the same way, you know, with my people that follow me and stuff. So I've learned that I can be really bitchy in a confined space, and my boyfriend can attest to that. But I can also adjust and adapt to any given situation. Can you make him stop playing with that toy? Because it's really interrupting my interview. I'm sorry, my dog is going crazy with that toy.
Oh my God, wait a minute. I don't know. Have you guys seen me do this? I'm watching my mom's dog, and this dog will not stop interrupting the show. He tried to touch the computer. I'm doing the same thing.
You don't hear the toy in the background, do you?
No. Do you see this dog paw coming in? What's your dog's name?
Jackson.
Well, that's pretty manly, and that's got Butch dog. This dog is named Wiggles, and he's such a diva. Anyway,
Jackson was his given name, but I wish he had like more of a fun name like that, Wiggles.
His given name, is he from royalty?
No,
Jackson.
No, we adopted him, and that's the name they had when we adopted him from the shelter. His name was already Jackson, and that's him shaking his collar right now. But anyway, back to us.
Yeah. David, should musicians be called out for not making a statement during our climate?
Yes.
Political, socially?
Yes.
Interesting.
100%.
I've heard both sides of it, so I would love to know your opinion being in the industry.
Well, I think, okay, so Black musicians should not be called out for this because the fight has been going on for hundreds of years. And if they want to take a step back because they're frustrated and tired, I completely understand that. But if you are a white musician or a musician of privilege, you know, whatever you identify with that's not Black or a person of color, then absolutely the fight is 100% yours, and it should be yours first and foremost, because these people have went through so much and we have been so disrespectful. And I understand why people are like, well, you know, I just don't want to get involved. That's the exact reason why we are where we are right now, is because you're not getting involved. You need to speak up and say something. As uncomfortable as it, do you know how uncomfortable it is to be discriminated for the color of your skin? That's uncomfortable.
Right.
If you speaking up is uncomfortable, well, that's the least you can do for what has been gone on for 450 years. So yeah, I do think that if you are a person that has a platform, that you should 100% take that responsibility and speak out against injustices. Because here's the thing, like, if it's not the Black community, it's the gay community. If it's not gay, it's Latinos. If it's not Latinos, it's Jewish people. It's always someone to hate until we all just stand up and like fight for each other. And that's the issue. It's like people want to hold on to their privilege or to their money or to their whatever it is that makes you not want to speak up. And I think it's just bullshit. I think it's time for you to just speak up and stop being a complete dick.
I think that should be like our new slogan. Don't be a complete dick.
Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Just speak up. I mean, we all know how it feels to be marginalized or to be disrespected for whatever reason, our body type, our age, our sex, our sexual preference, our skin color. It's like, you know how that feels. Why would you ever want to let someone else experience that? That's just
I think that's so important to comment, is that everybody has their own issues, and everybody has some part of their life that they don't feel comfortable about and are called out for that. Yeah. So David, you have performed at Prides all over the place, Prides big or small. What's a Pride moment? It could be funny, it could be poignant, it could be any type of Pride moment that comes to your mind when you hear the word Pride and you're like, oh yeah, that happened.
Oh, there's been so I was in Albany, New York. This was 2 years ago. And this was in 2016, because I had just shaved my head, and it was pouring rain, and they have like this massive stage, and they have like the subwoofers that are kind of slightly off the stage, and then they're covered with like tarps, obviously, and so the rain had stopped, but the puddles of water were still on the tarps, on the subwoofers. And I love to connect with the audience, so I usually step onto the huge speakers or subwoofers. Well, I stepped onto it, and I had like these brand new like high top shoes, and I slipped. And the security guard caught me. Like, it was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me on stage. But yeah, I almost died, basically.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Because the tarp fell off, and the water was like all over me. The security guard caught me like I think I was like at like a 45-degree angle at that point. He had caught me, and then everyone was like, and then I got back up, and I was like, baby, you're beautiful. Like, I just kept going with it.
Hey, you stole the show. That's all that matters.
I mean, in one way, shape, or form, that's all that matters, right? They remembered it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a deleted scene from The Bodyguard.
Yeah, I was definitely Rachel Marin in that moment. I was Rachel Marin for sure. I got the stuff that you want. I got the thing that you need. Yep, that was me.
You had paired up with one of my other American Idol faves, Effie Pissarro. She's been on the show. I hang out with her. Talk about a drinker. She can drink me under the table.
Oh my, she can drink me under the table.
Yeah.
She can drink and sing. She can take like shots upon shots and still get up there. And she's like, ah!
Yeah.
She goes crazy.
What tips can you give as an artist in regards to collaboration? I know Effie is a very big personality. She has a definite idea, as do you. I can't see how two amazing soloists can work together and create something with the harmonies, with the melodies and all that. And maybe some insight you can give on how an artist collaborates can give us ideas on how LGBT community can collaborate with other communities.
Yeah, for sure. Effie brought a really incredible song to me, which is our single, What I See. And it was already pretty much 98% done. And I was, a little hesitant about asking her if I could rewrite the second verse, because I wanted to come from like my own experience. So I just, you just have to be respectful of the way you word things and not step on anyone's creativity. And so I was just like, hey, like, song, and I mind if and then she was like, absolutely not. Like, let's do it. Like, let's there has to be in any art, really incredible things, just like with Jim, vice versa, and just like with Effie. So I would say to anyone trying to collab community, just like leave the ego at the door, because we're some stuff. So that's my biggest thing. And I just collaborated with like Jacqueline Lord, and I collaborated with Jay, and I plan to collaborate with a few other people this year. I think it's just a matter of like just appreciating each other.
Well, and Dennis,
like, hey, let's go in the room and see how it goes.
And how does that work for you on the Zoo? Because you have like a full panel of talk show hosts. You're doing a talk show, and then you have all these personalities that are so different. But it's like, you know, it's like The View times 10, and then you're interviewing. So how do you work that?
I don't know. You just try to squeeze in any which way possible and be respectful of the other person. Of course, you don't want to, like what Jay said previously, you don't want to try to outshine each other. You kind of want to try to, you're an ensemble, so you want to complement each other. You know, I'm very conscious of that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to make anyone, like, I wouldn't want to try to overshadow somebody, because I feel like when you are collaborating or even doing a duet, like, you know, you will be doing, David, you want to make the person feel comfortable, you know?
Totally.
I have too much of an ego.
Oh my God. No, but you're collaborating right now. You're collaborating right now with Dennis, you know? You guys are like bouncing off each other.
I'm just here for decoration, David, okay?
Hey, you're a beautiful ornament, baby. You're a beautiful ornament.
Thank you.
But to piggyback off that is like, I actually grew up singing in an a cappella quartet. Like when after the theater stuff, I went on cruise ships and I sang with a group called Vinyl 4, which two of my best friends were in. And up until that point, it was all about me, right? Like I was the lead vocalist, like blah, blah, blah. Learned, you know, really quickly, like harmonizing is not about you being a soloist. You have to blend. And so that taught me a lot of teamwork. You got to make it work. And then you could do your own solo stuff on the side. But in the meantime, in a group or with a duo partner, it's about you guys together. It's not about one person. Yeah. And I think Effie would agree with that.
I've always wanted to work on a cruise ship, to be honest with you. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can just imagine that being fun, but I can also imagine getting like 20 pounds from eating those midnight buffets.
It's not even the buffets, it's the alcohol, and it's the late night parties, it's the after parties in the cabin. Forget it, I almost died. Sorry, David, go ahead, answer.
Well, okay, so being a guest entertainer on a cruise ship is different. No, I agree with you. I think being a guest entertainer on a cruise ship is different than being in a group, because when you live on that boat, you hate everybody. Like we were on there for 6 months and I could not wait. After the first 2 months, I could not wait to get off. The cool thing about guest entertaining, which I've done since American Idol, is they fly you on to whatever the port they're in. And then you can decide if you want to stay on for the whole cruise or if you want to bounce. Like, you know, I always stay on for the whole cruise because I'm like, hey, I'm getting paid to be on a free cruise. Like I'm definitely staying on that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, good for you, honey.
Even if you just stay in the cabin, order the free room service, and watch the same 5 movies over and over. Like, just stay and just like relax.
Right.
Just relax.
We are going to take a peek at David's musical video and single that you can download. Let's take a look at "Sorry," and I'm not sorry that we are watching "Sorry."
I wanna write you this letter. I'm trying hard to get better. So my heart flows from pen to paper. But forgiveness is not an answer. You say sorry, it's not enough. You've been waiting. My time is up. Tired of the pain of the fight. You won't make it right. You say sorry, it's not enough. I know you called me a million times, but the space is what I needed. See our wounds, I still believe it.
P.S. Arno Diem, by the way, he's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
David,
So David,
I'm gonna wring my panties because they got a little bit wet after listening to you sing that too.
You're not wearing underwear. You're not
You
wearing
sticking
underwear.
the sofa?
What was that?
What I love about your
Thank
voice is it really captures all of the different levels. You know, from the falsetto to the angst to the lower register. It really is a full spectrum of voice. And you can definitely see that there's
Thank
the
you.
professional training in there as well as the freeness. What are you still waiting for somebody to say sorry for, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything from your life that you're like, I am waiting for that sorry?
Oh my God. I think I wish that my sorries would have stuck. That's what I wrote the song about, really.
Yeah.
I wrote it from the other perspective of like where I hurt somebody and my sorry just wasn't enough at that point because I waited too long. Yeah, I can think of a few instances where that's happened in my life. Yeah. So, but I don't wait for sorries anymore. I'm like, if you ain't gonna say sorry, I'm moving on. We're good.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
All right, David, are you ready to play a little rapid fire?
Let's do it.
Okay. What is a song from the past that you wish you would have originated?
Oh, God, there's so many. I think one of them. Oh my God. Shoot. Okay. How about Anything Brian McKnight? Because I think he's incredible. All of John Legend, definitely. Or Purple Rain by Prince.
Yes. Maybe
Speaking
it's
of
time
purple,
for
I'm wearing purple right now.
Yes, I know. Maybe it's time for a redo. Purple Rain by David Hernandez.
You know, I sing that in my shows. I just sang it last Saturday. I love doing that song.
Okay, I'm gonna say a mood, and I want you to tell me what album you would pull out.
Okay.
Ready? A Night Out.
Mm-hmm. A night out. A night out. Ooh, God, you're stumping me. I have like brain. A night out. Can I look at my iTunes thing really fast? Hold on. Let me just see what I've been recent. A night out probably would be. How about Brandy Full Moon?
Ooh.
Okay. A breakup.
Have you heard that? A breakup one? Ooh, a breakup. I'm in love with another man, Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay. A protest.
A protest song, Freedom, Beyonce.
Sexy Night In.
Anything, Sade.
Oh, yes. Girl, if you can't seal the deal with Sade, then you got no game.
And you, oh my God. Oh my. I mean, if
Sade,
you can, no, you're right. You're totally right.
Kiss,
I agree
Marry,
with you on
Kill.
that, for sure.
Kiss, Marry, Kill. Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson, Paula Abdul.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Are you there, Poppy?
Sorry. Kill Simon. Yeah, I'm here. I would kill Simon. I guess I would kiss Randy, like just like a peck, and then I'd marry Paula because Paula's just a sweetheart. I love Paula.
And she loved you, by the way. She's one of the best.
That's a tough one though. You gave me like 3 people that's a tough one.
I know. Biggest pet peeve that you have in the recording booth?
I would say more than one person, more than 1 or 2 people outside of the booth. I don't like it when you get like 10 people in there when you're trying to create like that. It's just like I started off doing that with like a lot of like freestylists and rappers when I was younger.
Yeah.
And that just like kills my focus. I hate that. So it's just got to be me in the booth, the engineer, and maybe a producer. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Celebrity crush.
Right there. Celebrity crush. I'd probably have to go with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, you like the bad boys, don't you?
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is a bad boy?
Yes.
Just because he's got some
mental issues, and I have a knack for that.
Okay. All right, David, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's all D Hernandez Music. Find me there. And my website is officialdavidhernandez.com. It's a brand new website. We got a merch store up, especially for Pride season. We got stuff that's really kind of cool. So check it out. And then follow me. I'm really interactive and I love to talk to everyone that's on there.
And we love following you. All right. So before we go, Dennis, you're gonna have to do rapid fire too.
Ay carajo. Fine.
Okay, ready?
Put me under the guillotine.
Come on, Dennis.
Celebrity interview you wish.
Come on.
Celebrity interview you wish you could go back and redo.
J-Lo.
Oh, wow. Everybody here has a J-Lo story.
You interviewed J-Lo? That's amazing.
Did
you interview J-Lo? I didn't know that.
Wait, what was that again, Bobby?
This is.
It'll catch up. I think we're on a delay.
This is like an episode of the Three Stooges. Okay. Dennis, what is an interview? What is an interview cheat that you employ? Mine is if I don't like a movie or something, I'll be like, looks like you had a good time. It doesn't say that I liked it. Doesn't say that it was a good movie. It just says that they had a good time. What's like your cheat?
I won't call a person by their name because sometimes I will forget it or I won't know it. And so it'll be a very ambiguous, reference to them or to somebody that I'm referencing in their, in the conversation. Like, I won't say their co-star's name, but I'll be like, your co-star,
Yeah. Oh my God,
hilarious.
I do it all the time. And we as gay men, we have a cheat where we can do, okay, girl. Because it's like, girl, instead of like, yes. Okay, Sarah Paulson. Okay.
Right.
Have you had FaceTime relations with anyone during quarantine?
No. I don't even have FaceTime. I have an Android, honey.
Ooh.
That's why you're not hooking up. Okay.
I have a Mac computer, but I still don't have any FaceTime relation. None of that, honey.
You're missing out. It's easy cleanup. Worst fashion trend you fell victim to?
Oh my gosh. So I bought this pair of jeans at a mall in Florida, and they must have cost over $100. They were so tight they were gonna bounce off my legs, and they had like a print on them. And I swore to God that they were like the hottest thing on earth. I mean, they're cute, but I don't know. I think I might have been more of a fashion victim than a fashion plate.
Okay, and finally, what would the name of your own talk show be?
Can I sit on it?
Yes,
God,
she can. Yes, she can.
Thank you.
All right.
If it's my show, I hope so. If it's my show, I hope I can.
Dennis, tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me at Dennis Pastorizo on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, it's at DPastorizo, and on Snapchat, it's Dennis Does LA.
Yes, you do.
He sure
gentlemen,
does. Yes, he does.
Thank you so much for celebrating Pride Month with us. I follow you everywhere, and thank you for sharing your stories today. And we'll definitely see you soon. Well, that's all, folks. It's this grab bag of fun every week on the Rocks. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share. Send nudes. I'm bored. Head to ontherocksradioshow.com for all of this fun for free. And hopefully we will be back in the studio soon. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tipsy. Thank you, Kurt, our engineer.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Thank you. Cheers.
Everybody.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at ontherocksradioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share.